Hello, good morning. My name is Alvaro Arellano. I'm an urbanist and city planner from Mexico City, and I would like to discuss my perspectives regarding community planning and the digital experience. First of all, I have learned through experience that the physical, social, and locational characteristics of a neighborhood will largely shape the ability of a community to position favorably and cope with the larger structural changes that happen in economic, social, political conditions that might affect a city, a region, a country, or the globe as a whole. I also believe that the technological advances that enable the digital life might represent a major structural change, possibly because it is increasingly enabling us to break somehow from the past, as in a way we're moving through both time, space, with a reach we probably never thought about before. The question then is digital life a simple phenomena related to the fast pace of modern life, or is more like a superposition of a new culture over an old one? Another question would be if the digital life will have a stronger impact than the first industrial revolution. Personally, I think it would, because the changes in the way that communities are being interconnected not only enhances the quality of life standards or improves the productivity of the working force, it also enabling us and promises to have a wider influence on global affairs that is for both individuals and society. However, the process of technology adoption has developed in a very asymmetrical manner. We commonly find the synthesis of models and sociocultural values influences differently the lifestyles, the work styles, the ways of thinking, the possibilities of envisioning the future, along with an update of the principles of freedom, equality, property, as well as a basic assumptions regarding the rule of the market, the profits, and the added value. All in all, I think that the digital experience brings several challenges. Personally, I think one relevant one is in the adequate decision making because it brings several contrasting links of patterns of opposites. One could be variation versus standardization, integration versus fragmentation, diversity versus uniqueness, simplicity versus complexity, self-directed versus interdependent, cooperation versus rivalry. Paradoxically, the abundance of choices intended to give more freedom might bring confusion, apathy, anxiety towards decision making. Let's just consider for an instance how traditional patterns of behavior in ways of establishing social relationship seems to have been substituted or complemented by new ones. All in all, I think there are major shifts and they both bring us pros and cons. A pros could be the complexity and extent of social networks enable contemporary events to be known almost instantly worldwide. We individually and socially might feel more empowered and might now have the feeling to be creating a history discourse about ourselves. The cons are that the digital experience seems to be alter the patterns of social behavior toward the inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. Predominantly, we find difficulty focusing attention on a single task, unless the task is something really enjoyable. It is quite easy to be distracted by the digital life, and thus frequently we switch from one activity to another, and we don't mind missing the details. We don't mind missing the details because we believe that the digital experience is expected to be auxiliary in processing necessary information quickly and accurately. We can also become predominantly more hyperactive or impulsive, with symptoms that show up as we struggle to follow instructions to unlock the usefulness and the usability of the latest digital media. These types of symptoms may include turning more impatient, communicating nonstop, simply dashing around, recording digital, experimenting with anything and everything on site. However, now we don't know yet if this shift in behavior patterns promoted by the digital life will significantly interfere in our personal social relationships. in our work, in our studies. Or conversely, we might ask this question on how these devices will really alter the way of thinking, perceiving, and seeing the world.